छम करता सावन बूंदों के बाण चलाए, सतरंगी बरसातों में जब तन मन भीगा जाए। छम छम करता सावन बूंदों के बाण चलाए, सतरंगी बरसातों में जब तन मन भीगा जाए। प्यार में नहाने को डूब ही जाने को दिल मेरा तड़पाए, ख्वाब जगा जाए। ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए। नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए हमको तरसाए। ला 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 ला।
प्यार दीवाना होता है, मस्ताना होता है, हर
आओगे जब तुम साजना, आओगे जब तुम साजना, अंगना फूल खिलेंगे, बरसेगा सावन, बरसेगा सावन, झूम झूम के दो दिल ऐसे मिलेंगे। आओगे जब तुम साजना, अंगना फूल खिलेंगे। नैना तेरे कजरारे हैं, नैनों पे हम दिल हारे हैं, अनजाने ही तेरे नैनों ने वादे किए कई सारे हैं। सांसों की लय मध्यम चले तो से गए पर से का सावन, पर से का सावन, झूम झूम के दो दिल ऐसे मिलेंगे। आओगे जब तुम हो साजना, अंगना फूल खिलेंगे। बसा सा रे गा गा चंदा को काकू रातों
अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए। ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए। नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए। ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए। नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, प्यार बरसाए, हमको तरसाए। ऊंचे पर्वत जब चूमते हैं अंबर को, प्यासा प्यासा अंबर जब चूमता है सागर को। ऊंचे ऊंचे पर्वत जब चूमते हैं अंबर को, प्यासा प्यासा अंबर जब चूमता सागर को प्यार से कसने को बाहों में बसने को दिल मेरा ललचाए कोई तो आ जाए ऐसा कोई साथी हो ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए प्यार बरसाए हमको तरसाए ठंडे झोंके जब बालों को सहलाएं तपती तपती किरणें जब गालों को छू जाएं ठंडे ठंडे झोंके जब बालों को सहलाएं तपती तपती किरणें जब गालों को छू जाएं सांसों की गर्मी को हाथों की नरमी को मेरा मन तरसाए कोई तो छू जाए ऐसा कोई साथी हो ऐसा कोई
Hello? Yeah. Hi everyone. If you could just please find a seat, we'll just be starting. I hope everyone's comfortable. I hope everyone's okay. Can I just get thumbs up all around? Yeah? Anyone needs anything? Okay, good. So, my name is Raya, for those of you who don't know. And today is Baba's birthday. So even before we start, I want to just say that we're not going to make this a sad affair. We're going to all have smiles on your face. If you don't, I'm going to start pointing fingers. I'm not seeing smiles. Can we have some smiles around here? Some more smiles? Yeah, at the back? Yes? Okay, thank you. Baba was never a serious man. I don't think he had even a single serious bone in his entire body. So it would just feel wrong to make this a serious affair. We're going to have a bunch of his favorite things. We're going to have some music. We're going to have some really nice photos and videos that you're just going to see throughout, but there's going to be a lot more to come. And if there's some technical issues, just bear with us. This has also just been a very short affair to throw together, so just bear with us. Secondly, I am going to read out what I'm going to say because I don't think my brain has worked in the last week. So bear with me for that as well. Now, the reason I'm going to call this a birthday party and not a memorial is I think if I use the word memorial, he would be turning in his grave personally. I think he'd come personally and haunt each and every one of us for having such a foul choice of word. But while most of you here know Neil as your friend, and I call him Baba, I think what I'd like to tell you is, to me, maybe from the age of 1 or 2, he was always a dear, dear friend. And I think this last week has been a very slow realization in understanding how much of a friend he really was. And it was never the big things, it was always the really small things that I would reach out to him for. So, he would be the first to know if I'd explored some God-forsaken place in Delhi. He'd be the very first. He'd always get photos, he'd always get everything. In fact, he'd be telling me things he knew about these places because somehow he knew everything about everywhere and everyone. He'd be the first one to know every time I would get a tattoo without telling mom. He would look at me and go like, Arikta, itu thamu ekhon, ki bolbe ma? He would also be the first to know about all the illegal pets I would bring home. I think when we first brought our rabbits home, Ma didn't know for a week. Baba knew from hour one. And in many ways, he's always been my accomplice. And that's why I like to call him a friend, not a dad, because the reason I would not call him a dad is because there is nothing I would do that he would be against. if I ever had any issues in life, he would look at me and say, I think you should trust your instinct. I know you would do best. And I think that started from the very beginning, because years and years ago, when I was about class 11, I remember sitting and we used to have these late night conversations. So we were having one of these late night conversations and we were discussing what I should be doing with my life. And he was supremely disappointed that I was horrible at science and I had horrible eyesight, because he thought I would be a fantastic pilot. Never in my life had we discussed it before that point, but he looked at me and said, pilot ta holi na, ki korcho tumi? But even after that point, he shortly became serious. It's one of the most serious I've ever seen him. And he said, I don't care what you become, as long as you do the best at whatever you become. I don't care if you become a beggar, as long as you're the best and the most thrifty beggar out there. This last week has also been a very interesting realization of how much I am as a person is guided by Baba. And it's in so many small choices. For example, the fact that I live in Delhi today. Baba, from a very young age, has instilled Delhi propaganda and said you can't possibly live anywhere else. The fact that I would sell my soul for the Beatles today is because as a 2-year-old, he ensured that I was hooked to the Yellow Submarine. It's the fact that I can't go to sleep anymore without reading a book, because I grew up marveling at his wonderful book collection. It's the fact that dairy milk is my favorite dessert and Thumbs Up is my favorite drink, and it's because it was his. It's the fact that one of my pet guinea pigs is called Pao. It's because every time I would even utter the words Pav Bhaji, Mom would utter the words Pav Bhaji, the first thing he would look at me and say, Aajkal pav zameen par nahi padte. In fact, the biggest thing I have done inspired by him is actually adopted half his friend circle, and too bad for them, I'm not escaping anytime soon. Now, he's not here today, and I think that makes me and everyone here really angry. But it's a lot of firsts that's happened. It's the first time that he's not come to pick me up from the airport. It's the first time that next time that I'm exploring Delhi and I won't be able to send him photos. But seeing everyone here, seeing everyone who's joined in on Zoom or YouTube, it's a lovely reminder that each and every person sitting here has very distinct memories with him. And I think that's something that very few people in the world can take pride in. Like, I think every single person here can come up here and say something wholly different. They all knew different sides to Baba. So even though he might not be here today, I know that he hasn't gone anywhere. He lives on in all of our memories and in all of our stories. And of course, in all of the horrible, horrible puns that we will forever remember him by. So here's to our favorite Pandit for everything that he was and everything that he has left behind. Now, I do realize I could go on and on about Baba, but there's so many people who are so eager to say some lovely things. So I'm going to hand the dais over to Indy, who is his extremely close friend from childhood, who's going to help get through this evening with me. And Indy, I must say, is also parent to a lovely dog, Laili, who is probably the most angry amongst all of us that her favorite person has decided to pull such a horrible move. But I won't keep you all for longer. I'll just hand over to Indy.
Lovely, Raya. Thank you. Hi, everyone. See, I'm pretty sure that Nilu has planned this as a very kind of intricate, bad production. It's Calcutta Club, theatre. So I have a feeling there's somewhere this is a part of an elaborate script. So I don't know. Maybe it's called Nilu Mukherjee ka rahashamay udhav, aise kuch hoga. As Nilu said, my Hindi is a little worse than Lal Mohan Ganguly, so bear with me. Nilu is the nicest person I know. This is not an opinion, it's a fact. Or as he would say, quoting Parashuram at Birinchi Baba, it is a crucifact. not a crucifixion. I know him since 1978, which is interestingly when Argentina first won the World Cup. He was an Argentina fan. I am an Argentina fan. And the last time we watched the World Cup together, Lily, our dog, she's not interested in football. I think Nilu tried a lot to get her enthused, not interested. But I think we, unlike 1978, we had Bapi Chanachur. Bapi Chanachur being an interesting sort of coincidence for Bapi. And I know him through various points of view. And the wonderful thing about Nilu is every one of you know him in a slightly different angle. And that makes it so, I mean, he is in this room through all of us in a very strange manner, I think. I remember when COVID was there, the COVID years were difficult, and you know, I think we were out and about like Batman and Robin. I was Robin and he was Batman, and he remembers I have terrible direction skills. So we were trying to get cigarettes, and it was a very difficult task, but Nilu found somewhere, some ITC go down and all that. So he has always been there for all of us. I must say I haven't always understood why he never got so pissed off with me for not always doing the same, because sometimes I just vanished. And yet Nilu is the nicest man I know. I think I'm going to ask now Rian, his nephew, to speak a few words about. And I don't agree with Raya fully that Nilu is the most non-serious person that we know. I think he was extremely serious about living life. He every day was Kali Pujo, for every day was Christmas. I think over the years I also realized how much of love and energy that takes. So I'll just hand it over to Rian. Yeah.
Greetings to everyone present here today. My name is Nilotpal Mukherjee. I am Nilotpal Mukherjee's nephew, or his beloved Ghontu Singh. He is my uncle, or my jajan. You know, before I begin my speech here today, I would like to thank all of you who have taken the time out of your day to, you know, come here and grace my jajan's birthday party. And, you know, it really means a lot to me, my family, and most importantly, my jajan. I mean, you know, it's quite hard to, you know, give this speech because I really do miss him. And I really do miss his horrible jokes. I could go on all day about his horrible jokes, but I won't. I'll, you know, go on with my speech. So, I come here today to celebrate his life. And as I stand here giving this speech, I feel like his Mark Antony speaking for my Caesar. I know this is no marketplace and none of you are common people, but he was a true Caesar. He lived his life like a king of all hearts. And I'm pretty sure every single one of you here can agree. My uncle, he was, you know, an amazing person. And he was a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous source of love, laughter, spirit. And I am, you know, perplexed still. But, you know, this is not a sad occasion. This is my uncle's birthday party. And he will kill me, I'm pretty sure, if I, you know, make this sad. But I'll always be honored and blessed to know that he will always be around his loved ones. I'll miss you, my Jajan. You are gone too soon. I'll always love you. And thank you, everyone.
जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं तेरी मेरी कहानी है एक प्यार का नगमा है चलना है आगे आसमानों से बढ़ना है आगे पीछे रह जाएगा ये ज़माना यहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना यहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना हम बिंदिशी तारा একা রাতেরই আকাশে তুমি বাজালে এক তারা আমার ছিলে কোঠার পাশে ঠিক সন্ধে নামার মুখে তোমার নাম ধরে কেউ ডাকে মুখ লুকিয়ে কার বুকে তোমার গল্প বলো কাকে আমার রাত জাগা তারা তোমার অন্য পাড়ায় বাড়ি আমার ভয় পাওয়া চেহারা আমি আদতে আনারি আমার আকাশ দেখা ঘুরি কিছু মিথ্যে বাহাদুরি আমার আকাশ দেখা ঘুরি কিছু মিথ্যে বাহাদুরি আমার চোখ বেঁধে দাও শান্ত শীতল পাটি তুমি মায়ের মতো ভালো আমি একলাটি পথ হাঁটি
Thank you so much, Kaustubh. That's just a slice of some of Nilu's favorite songs. There'll be more coming on. Before I proceed and call another dear friend of ours to speak, I just wanted to read out a message that another friend of ours, Indranil Dotto, Tutu, had sent. Essentially, Robindranath আর বড়লিন বাঙালির জীবনের সব ব্যথায় মলম. We would add kind of Nilu to that, and there are various kinds of betha for which Nilu has provided us molom over the years. And it's a small poem that Tutu wrote. It's Amar praner pore chole gelo ke বসন্তের বাতাসটুকুর মতো সে যে ছুঁয়ে গেল নুয়ে গেল রে ফুল ফুটিয়ে গেল শত শত সে চলে গেল বলে গেল না সে কোথায় গেল ফিরে এলো না সেই ঢেউয়ের মতন ভেসে গেছে চাঁদের আলোর দেশে গেছে যেখান থেকে হেসে গেছে হাসি তার রেখে গেছে রে. I'll call Amitava Sannal, Orofe Omi, to Orofe Mosha to the stage.
Hi. So I met Nilu a couple of years after Nilu met Purushottam, another dear friend. And Puru couldn't be here today for various reasons. He's in Delhi. So he asked me to read something he wrote for Nilu. He wrote it in a gush. Just he felt like it and he wrote it in one go. So here goes. From Puru for Nilu. The first thing he told me in college was, Bujle bhai, monumentar upor giye dekhi ek bati chanachur. Of all things. We were complete strangers then. After a while, he said, I'm coming to your home today to have luchi, aludom and rasgulla. In those days of no mobile phones, I had to rush to the nearest PCO to call my ma and ask her to prepare the food for a new friend. That would be the beginning of a brotherhood that would be forever. There are so many memories that keep rushing in that the entire universe won't be able to hold. But let me try. Of having Radha Vallabhi in class while Noga taught statistics. Some of us would relate. Of telling very seriously that a small scale industry is one that is small in scale to the amazement of our economics professor. Of playing cricket and football together, of cheering India at Eden Gardens, of never-ending table tennis games at the park in Vizag, where Nilu had a house, not to forget the copious amounts of sugar we insisted on having with the fresh lime soda. Just a memory. Of copying and celebrating after the maths exam in which we both failed. Of driving through the olis and golis of Kolkata and discovering a new world. Of Saturday club and his poor quality soft drinks supplied at Zavotsov. Of planning a picnic and asking his mum to boil 28 eggs. Of Shiraz, Rehmania, Arsalan and asking for a separate aloo with the biryani at every place. Of Filio Jipu and other vague sounding names becoming a code language. Filio Jipu, which means nothing, of course. It's a coinage of Nilu's. May I add, there was also a coinage of Makbul Fita Al Futu, whatever that was. Of International Evening at Calcutta Club and dancing with Chima Okeri, no less. Of crossword puzzles and quiz games. Of the Nala Khapa dance and Mira Shaya dance, which Nilu was famous for, some of us would know. Of Lebu Cha at Kochi's Take, of Bibi Mashi, that is my mother, Bibi Mashi and that unrealistically green kebab that she served us one day. Of being arrested for Bedo driving his car into a sweet shop. Of being introduced to various girlfriends of Montai. Of his surprise visit with Mosha on my wedding plan day, of being the first to embrace and accept Aditi, that is Puru's dear wife, who also couldn't be here, who is also a dear friend of Nilu's, of being the first to embrace and accept Aditi among my closest friends, of numerous quizzes and where one of them had an answer that was Bashuntir breast cutlet, of being a judge at the Sharodiya Dhak Festival of Amitabh Bachchan, Govinda and David Dhawan, of the songs Lal Dupatte Wali and Anand Fanan, of bunking classes to watch movies, of his creative genius, of making up white lies in an instant, of being one of the two key people who took care of my parents in my absence, that is while Puru was in Delhi, of being there by my side always from heartbreak to a cerebral stroke, of fixing my air conditioner, of chocolate sandesh at Makhonlal and Britannia's Bourbon and Pure Magic biscuits, for which we would cross town to find if one wasn't available close by. Of driving off to Diamond Harbour just for fun, of Parthoda, that is Puru's cousin, and his stint at PPS, the company Nilu inherited from his father, Shomu Mukherjee, and led with his brother, Shubhro. Of designing my IIM Cal project reports, of his surprise visits to Delhi, of the craziness of Khujliwala Jhar, which is a line from Padosan, at Malviya Nagar, where he used to stay at that time in Delhi, of a heart of gold that lives forever, of a brother who would always be in my heart, of being the most lively example of being human, of innumerable one-liners that would keep playing in my memory forever. Stay well, Nilotpal Mukherjee, and enjoy in the land of the unknown. If you meet Bedo, the friend who drove his car into the sweet shop, if you meet Medo, who has also passed, another dear friend who has passed, don't get into his car. Be very happy, my friend, and be yourself in heaven too. Thank you. Well, I have to call back Indy, right?
You don't have to invite me to the stage.
You own the stage.
No, technically Calcutta Club does, but okay. So Neil, Nicholas, whatever you want to call him, and he has many names. He was a quiz nut. So we decided to have some fun of kind of having a very short quiz, some based on the stuff that he was completely obsessed about, facts, factoids, weird things. And some questions are from Nilu's lives, interactions with humanity, also with non-humanity, which includes rabbits, dogs, and other lovely creatures, sorry. Omi, will you help me here? Because no quiz does well with one person. So what we'll do is we're going to ask questions, and if you think you know the right answer, just sort of raise your hand. We'll just allow two people per question. Then we kind of answer it. Is that okay? Sure. Yeah? Okay. So I'll start with... So as most of you have figured out by now, Nilu loved the Beatles. And not only did he infuse Raya with Beatles mania, but at the same time, I kind of grew up listening and watching the Beatles with him in his Lake Town house, where, you know, my father had bought me one cassette, VHS cassette of the Beatles documentary he had just come back from abroad, and we just burnt the tape over months. We just kind of watched it over and over again. So here's the first question. It's a Beatles question, which Nilu knows the answer of. Which Beatles song was written in Rishikesh for actress Mia Farrow's sister?
Raise your hand if you want to hazard a guess or know the answer.
And even if you don't know the answer, knowing Nilu, you still raise your hand.
Yeah. Please raise your hand. Microphone.
Okay.
Hello? Where did I see
No, not her.
Hello? Yeah.
Not her.
Yeah, I can't believe I still have to do it for Neil, but it's Dear Prudence.
Correct. 2 points. And lovely.
Okay, so, well, whiskey. So we see this as a way of, another way of telling Nilu's story. Things he liked, things he obsessed about, things he cared about, some of the questions were his. Either he asked them or he told us for the first time something. So this is all trivia, all for fun, but as he explained, different aspects of his life, another way of storytelling. So whiskey, a good subject. The ad for which London whiskey brand, which had a picture, this Nilu loved advertisements. He studied advertisement. He ran an ad agency and used to collect good ads. So this was one of his favorites. Which ad, the ad for which brand, whiskey brand, based in London, had a picture of Santa Claus jingling his bells, and the tagline went, Christmas wouldn't be the same without dash and dash. Where dash and dash were the initials of this London, very old 18th century London whiskey brand. The initials. There is a, please. J and B, Justerini and Brooks. Nice. Wonderful. I suppose somebody else just behind you also knew. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And so Nilu was very fond of a particular character in the when we used to watch Channel V and other pop cultural things when we were extremely busy in our lives. One was, if you remember, the character called Quick Gun Murugan. So he was this sort of Tamil cowboy who used to shoot guns. There's any millennial here apart from Raya? But Raya knows all the answers.
I'm Gen Z.
Oh, you're Gen Z. Correct. Sorry. So the question is, and this is one of Nilu's great kind of straight from the lip lines, I think in the early 2000s, because that was then one of Nilu's dialogues, which is Quick Gun Murugan's. Ek tumbler whiskey, ek masala dosa, mind it. The question is, what was Quick Gun Murugan's girlfriend's name? I'll give you a clue. She's Tamil.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wild guess, Nilu type. Lola Kutti.
Close. No.
Rosa Kutti. Or
Well, people have asked whether they were in a relationship or not, but no. Anyone else? We get 2 tries per questions. Otherwise, I'll.
Anyone at the back would like to try? Hazard a guess? No?
The answer is Mango Dolly.
Sure. Football. And, well, I'm not going to say anything else because that would give away the question. Which place, first built up on in 1702, means the farmhouse in the Catalan language? No hands? Okay. Next clue. From 1979 onwards, it was used for something, it has been used for something that we know it for today. We associate it with today. And, yeah, of course. Well, my third clue would have been that, actually. Then I think it gives away the answer. So Camp Nou was built in 1957 next to it. So what are we talking about? That is in another city, but no, well, we got the region right, we got the city right, we got the club right. It is La Masia. Sorry, I'm just hurrying on here. We can ponder, but La Masia, the junior academy of Nilu's favorite Barcelona football club. So.
Nilu's second favorite football club after Mohun Bagan.
After Mohun Bagan, true.
Yeah. So please, he's East Bengal. Okay. The next question is a bit of a meta question because, see, Nilu, apart from doing really good quizzes and apart from participating in really good quizzes, Nilu was also famous for doing Pocha quiz questions. So, in the spirit of Nilu's Pocha quiz questions, this is one that whoever gets this one has my, well, respect for starters, but later on other things. What's common to one of the biggest David Dhawan Govinda super hits of the 1990s? And, you know, Govinda, David Dhawan is also Nilu's, one of his. This film was a remake of the Tamil hit Anubhavi Raja Anubhavi, and what is common to this film, which I just mentioned, it's the biggest David Dhawan Govinda super hit of the 90s, and the city of Boston. Yeah, and the city of Boston. The film is based on a remake of the Tamil hit Anubhavi Raja Anubhavi. What is common to the David Dhawan Govinda super hit Hindi version of this film and the city of Boston? Remember, it's Nilu Pocha question. So, Ananda, you want to take a guess? I'll give you a clue. You have footwear like this.
Footwear?
Or I sometimes imagine you have footwear like this. Let me rephrase that.
Okay, Crocs or...
No. Yes. 100 points. You have my respect. The rest will come in a few weeks. The correct answer, as the gentleman there says, is Red Sox. It's a Boston baseball team. And Red Sox was what Govinda's, it was signature dress in Aankhe. Onindo, I've seen him wear red socks once. So that was my super clue. But well done.
So, another of Nilu's passions, theatre. Which character was common? The name of the character is common, not the person, actual character. Common to Birinchi Baba, Rajshekhar Bosu's Birinchi Baba, Satyajit Ray's Mahapurush, and Narayan Gangopadhyay's Jhau Banglor Rohosho, which was made into Tenida and Company recently, right? These two plays, these two films had a character with the same name, and Nilu played one of these characters. Yes, please. Sadly not, sadly not. It's a character Nilu played quite recently, actually. What was the character? So, come on, you can raise hand, Vikram. Anybody trying? Yeah, there, please. Absolutely, Kabla. Kabla is the common character between these two plays. And Nilu played the Kabla from Mahapurush, from Birinchi Baba recently. Yes.
Nice. Okay, this is a bit of a long one. Is this the visual one? Okay. Okay, this is actually a funny story which involves Raiya. So, just a minute. It's a visual question, and it has no. The answer is not the little girl. Okay. So, a while back, and Vinayak also shouldn't answer this. So in a quiz, Vinayak over there and Nilu had prepared a quiz question in which this visual was, essentially you'll have to identify what this is. And it went around the room and, sorry? Yeah, it's a good question. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, humility is Vinayak's middle name. Okay, so essentially, it went across the room, nobody was getting it, except then suddenly Raiya gets it. That's right? Sort of. But you got it. They were shocked. How does Raiya know? Yeah. It was ghastly. So, I mean, this is what happens when you underestimate Raiya. So now the question is the same. What is this? Identify the picture. No. I mean, what waterfall? Obviously, it's a waterfall. I'll give you a clue. This was also one of Nilu's, well, Pocha lines. Alimentary, my dear canal.
Would anyone like to hazard a guess?
Okay, no, that's Vinayak trying to. Yeah, you're cheating, essentially. Okay,
I promise you, whatever you're thinking, think simpler.
yeah. Raya, you want to answer this one?
I think let's Vinayak uncle do this.
No, you answer.
Let's do it. Okay. So this, what you're seeing on screen, is the real life version of the Reichenbach Falls, where Sherlock Holmes, elementary, my dear Watson, is said to have taken his hand. Right? He
and
seems to have
Moriarty
taken a dive, a
fell
little bit of
to
a
the-
swim.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. The next one is audio round. Yeah.
कब किसी को किसी से प्यार हो जाए
So, Nilu loved collecting the original tunes of plagiarized songs, and he had a CD of it. He had a collection of it, which he used to send Raya, and it was called
First copy.
the first copy. The CD was called the first copy. So, one of the songs on it.
Is on the next tab. Not on this.
Aditya Gupta has made an appearance in the corner. We will start dancing if it goes on. Yeah. Oh, everybody knows the tune, right? Everybody knows what the tune is on. Now, who sang the original? This also reminds us of one of the... Yeah, hand over there, yes. There, Miss Russo's, absolutely.
Oh, this is the last one, and it's again, this one is connected to Nilu. In particular, a Digha ride that me and our class 7 schoolmates had long ago, where one of the things we came back with was the Bangladesh football team, whose pictures we were taking, but there was no film in our camera, but we still kept taking pictures, because it was fun to make them think that they were famous. Yeah. So, to rhyme with Nilu's Digha journey and many, many subsequent road trips with friends, family, this question is, this whole film was about a bus journey, full of funny and intriguing characters, where the driver's name was Rajesh and the conductor's Khanna. Where was it going to? From where? Yeah. So I think, well, you still have to say it. That's how you claim money. You can't just say, Sorry? Wow. Correct. Absolutely. Okay, that was wonderful. And I think the quizmaster up there is laughing his head off. But I'm now going to call Binayak, the man who writes really good questions with Nilu, apparently, in quizzes. And if he could say a few words.
Sariel,
But Neil and I are very close friends. Everything has been said about him, and a lot of things are going to be said after this as well. But I recall him for some very unique characteristics he had. One of them was he had a special way of calling every person. Say, for example, my older daughter, who's called Medha, was always Chikpoo. And my younger daughter, who's called Isha, has always been Isha Baby Rocks. And she's now 22, but she's still Isha Baby Rocks. And Anjana was always called Angie. So similarly, he had two names for me. One was Doc, and the other was Guru Bhai. Guru Bhai being a part of a clan that we had. It was a club that we formed in 2004. And every Thursday, we would meet. Many of us started with 4 of us, and then it ended up being 16 of us. Oh my God, the mention of Chu elicits this kind of a reaction. So we would meet every Thursday on having a very spirited conversation. And during these things, it came across that all of us started calling each other Guru Bhai. And I could go on and tell you many, many incidents about Chu. But Chu essentially was the club, which was located at a restaurant in Salt Lake called Golden City, a Chinese restaurant. So it was called Chu. And Neil had some strange ideas. We had a quiz team. And Neil suddenly said, we have a good name for the quiz team. And I know that there are some elders in the room, but we are all adults out here. So he called this quiz team Golden City Parrots. Golden City being Chu, translate the rest. So this was Neil. And he had bizarre things to say about various situations. I remember a situation where we were walking along a very dark and desolate place. It was very scary, and one of our friends who's seated out here said, "Jagata ki eerie." And Neil said, "Eerie ki re? Ekdom eerie baba re." And of course, Neil was a very close friend. He was by me through a lot of difficult times. He stood by me, and I used to have a bit of a mercurial nature and would get into scrapes. He was always there beside me. And he would quote a Beatles song called The Revolution 9 and keep saying next to me, "Number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9." So this is how the song goes actually. But I thought I should end by saying that the last lines of the song are, "Where is he? Where is he gone?" Thank you.
That was lovely. Number 9 indeed. Another dear friend of ours, Anindo Malik. I think the last time I met Nilu, you were there at Indranil's house. So, yeah.
Well, Neil I've known from ever since we were in class 1. That is from 77, 78. And just a week before he went away, he just waved us goodbye. So we are here on his birthday, and today I'm wearing a shirt given by him on my birthday. As you can see, it's Argentina colors, which is favorite of his, though have nothing to do with football. And Neil was always there for us, and especially over the last 4 or 5 years, this was our meeting space. It means everyone in this club knows me. Neil and myself will be there in the veranda. At some time, he was with his old monk. Then it shifted to Thumbs Up, then Limca. So those were the things that we went along with. And of course, during COVID, we had like Binayak talked about Chu. I was part of Chu, so we had that from 2004 every Thursday meeting. I used to, at that time I was in Gurgaon, but I made it a point to land on Thursday evening, and straight from airport I landed up at Golden City, and thereafter there were some changes in the restaurant, so wherever it was I was there. So that was the connection we had. Also during COVID, when everything was shut down, I once mentioned to Neil that Wednesday in Germany is called Mittwoch. So it's the middle of the week. So we started, since he was in Highland Park, my house was pretty near, so he used to come every Wednesday. We had a Mittwoch in our house. And that was fun. I mean, the whole evening during those lockdown times, they were there. So also I had Snoopy. He was my beagle, and Snoopy was also Nilotpal's very favorite. Whenever Neil used to come to our house, Snoopy will have a gift for him ready. The moment a bell rings, Snoopy is there with something in his mouth, which he'll have to give to his Neil uncle. So we have all memories, good memories of Neil, very knowledgeable all this time. In fact, we had a recent play which we did in Julius Caesar, which we had the longest rehearsal of 6 to 8 months, I think. And this was my first play. I've never acted before and all. And sometimes Neil used to get frustrated and say, I'm going to leave. But I used to say, if you leave, I won't have my stage debut. So you better stay along. So we did the play in July, and it went off really well. So, and then after, Neil was very good in quizzes and all. He won all the quiz prizes that he attended. Also, another eye-opener was Antakshari. We won for the club. And he many talents. If he was in badminton, which he introduced me here, and then he never played. But when he played again, he won the tournament. And for some reason, the tournament his partner was Shobuj. So Neil and Shobuj won the inter-club tournament. So that was Neil for us, and he will be with us. So all I can say, okay, my friend. Neil, wherever you are, we'll meet again. Thank you.
We're just going to have a couple more of some songs that he really loved. So, just passing it over. Just 1 second, please. Sorry.
There's tea, coffee, and snacks at the back. So if anyone wants to just sit with your coffee, sip the coffee, and listen to this, we would be very happy. It's already served.
Yes. Thank you.
चला जाए रे जहाँ नहीं जाना था ये वही चला है रे उम्र का ये ताना समझ न पाए रे सुबह के जो हमारा नमक लगाए रे कि देखे न भारे न जाने न दाए रे दिशाहारा क्या मुनगो का मुंटा रे के दो पंख लेके पूरा चला जाए रे जहाँ नहीं जाना था ये वही चला है रे उम्र का ये ताना समझ न पाए रे सुबह भी जो हमारा नमक लगाए रे कि दिखे न भाले न जाने न दाए रे दिशाहारा क्या मुनगो का मुंटा रे His next one of his very favorite songs is this one. Hey June, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to know And anytime you feel pain, hate you, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders. For when you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making his world a little colder. Don't let me down. You will find another girl. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. So let it on, let it in, ain't you great? You're waiting for someone to wait for you. And don't you know it's just you, ain't you into the moment you need is on your shoulder.
Hi, Raya, can you come to gate 2? I mean here. Raya is supposed to introduce. Raya, you there? Yeah, I think.
Hi everyone. Would still encourage you to please take a seat. We're not done with our program. So please take a seat and we'll have some drinks circulated to everyone and we'll get some snacks also. So if you could just take a seat, we have something really special for everyone.
If you could just settle down, there's going to be a short film which is going to. Yeah. Yeah, all right.
I'm just going to wait for 2 minutes. Just give everyone a second to settle down.
I would request everyone to just sit down for a while. We have a AV for Neil. Yeah. So there's something very special that Neil's friends and Raya, they've put together. So we just need your attention for that. Thank you.
Just 10 minutes and then we'll let you get back to all the food and the drinks. Or better yet, we'll start sending some towards the front. Really sorry for all the chaos. I think, yeah. Just before we start, this is just a collection of who Baba was over the years from when he was a baby to maybe 2 weeks ago. So please enjoy the ride with us. I hope this moves you as much as I know this moved me. So with lots of love from Pikai over there, who's worked relentlessly on making this video happen, I hope you guys enjoy it.
connection, the people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
এই সোফাটায় বসুন, দেখবেন একটু ভাঙা তো সারিয়ে সুরে নিলেই তো হয়। সে তো কতবার হুজুরকে বলেছি, কিন্তু হুজুর সারাবেন না। সে কি কেন? হুজুর বলেন ওরা ঠাকুরদার জমিদারির আমলে ঝাড় পোকাগুলো এখনো ওর মধ্যে আছে। জমিদারি তো নেই, ঝাড় পোকাগুলোই থাক। যত সব উদ্ভট কথাবার্তা, ছোটবেলা থেকেই বায়ুগ্রস্ত। হ্যাঁ, তো উনি কোথায়? আগে গিয়ে একটু সন্দেহান্বিক করার আগে হাত পা ধুতে গেছে, সেই তো বসে পড়বেন গিলাসের বোতল নিয়ে। আচ্ছা, তা আপনার তো ছোট কথা ওসব চলে না। না, আমার সব একদম চলে না। আমি জানি তো, আমি তো হুজুরকে বলি, হুজুর ছোট ঘর থেকে দেখে শিখুন। এত বড় জমিদার বংশের ছেলে তবু কোনো নেশা ভাঙ নেই। তা শুনে কি বলেন তোমার হুজুর? হুজুর শুনবেন কি করে? আমি তো মনে মনে বলি। মনে মনে বলো কেন? ছোট বাচ্চা, এই কথা যদি হুজুরের কানে যায়, উনি কি আমায় আর আস্ত রাখবেন? পিঠের চামড়া কুটিয়ে পায়ে জুতো করে পড়বেন না? হুজুর এসে গেছে।
এই যে সমরেন্দ্র এসে গেছো, বসো বসো।
क्षमा कहे परवाने से परे चला जा, मेरी तरह जल जाएगा यहाँ नहीं यार। क्षमा कहे परवाने से परे चला जा, मेरी तरह जल जाएगा यहाँ नहीं। जल जाना होता है, हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। प्यार दीवाना होता है, मस्ताना होता है, हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है।
মুখ সামনে কথা বলে গুগলু। 30,000 দেখাচ্ছে, 30,000 বছর নরকে বসে বুঝবো, আর ওদিকে দমদম দিয়ে ঝমঝম করে লাল গোলা পাস হয়ে যাবে। কতদিন হয়ে গেল একটা প্যাসেঞ্জারের সুটকেস ছাড়তে পারিনি। সারা চিন্তা করো না, আমার সামনে তোমাকে মারবে না। ঠান্ডা ছাড়ো, পুনর্জন্ম ছাড়ো, কাটো নয়টা চুল্লিতে ভরে তন্দুরি বানিয়ে বসো বসো। তুমি কি আবার রেলগাড়ির দিন খেল দেখাতে চাও? আলবাত, প্যাসেঞ্জার ছোপে আমার কত রোজগার ছিল জানো? খেল গুগলু ওস্তাদের খেল, চল সালাদের করি, গলার আর খুলে দে, নইলে খেল দেখাবো পেটের লিভার। তুমি কি আবার রিভার চাও? যাও গুরু যাও, আমার ট্রেনের কামড়া ফিরিয়ে দাও। ফেরত গেলে ওরা প্যাসেঞ্জারের মাথার গুলো তোমার জন্য সোয়া পাচানার ভোগ চাপিয়ে দেবো। ফিরিয়ে দাও গুরু, আর পাচ্ছি না। খবরদার নয় প্রভু, খবরদার নয়। আরে প্যাসেঞ্জারটা তোদের জন্য তিষ্ঠ হতে পারতো না, ছেলে বুড়ো কাউকে ছাড়তো না, এমনকি ওই তীর্থযাত্রীদের পর্যন্ত পথে বসিয়ে ছাড়াবে। প্রভু যাও, জমের বউটা নরকের অন্ধকারে কচু। সেও ভালো প্রভু, সেও ভালো, তবু পৃথিবীর এত বড় ক্ষতি আপনি করবেন না। এইবার দেবতার লাশ একদম চপ। চাকু বন্ধ করো বাবা, চাকু বন্ধ। এ পাগল, এ বোকা, অর্বাচী, এ জানে না পৃথিবীতে তোমার কত কাজ পড়ে রয়েছে। আমি কি তোমায় আটকাতে পারিছি? তা বাবা গুগলু, মরতে যখন এতই মধু, তুমি অকালে মরতে গেলে কেন? সাত করে মরেছিলে? এক কামড়া ঝেপে আর এক কামড়া পারে গেছে। এক সালা চাষা ভাই করে একটা খুশি মারলো রোগের ওপর, চাকুটা হাত থেকে ছিটকে পড়ে গেল। সারা চাষা গুগলুর সঙ্গে কেউ মজা কি করে না। চাকুটা তুলতে গেলাম, আমার লোক একটু একটা ল্যান্ড, পাটা হরকে গেল। কাজ হয়ে পড়লাম, একটা রড ছিল, সেই রডটা ধরে ঝুলছি ঝুলছি ঝুলছি। আর মনে নেই তুমি, লালগোলা বুকের উপর দিয়ে ঝমঝম করে পাস হয়ে চলে গেল। হুস হুস হুস। ইস ইস ইস।
Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need.
Just wanted to let everyone know that the reason you're being assaulted by photos is because since the unfortunate has happened, I think each and every one of you has sent albums. It's not just one or two photos that everyone has sent, it's albums and albums and albums. So we just thought that at least as many as we can possibly incorporate, we have tried. If we missed anything, we're really sorry. But I think even with that, I mean, you're not missing out. There's so much. And so many different characters and versions and ages. I think you're covered. But with that, I would like to invite another very special to come and speak on stage. This is someone who really held his hand and was with him till the very end. So Didi uncle, if you're here, is he here? Yeah, if you could just come and share a few words.
Thank you, Raya. When Punna asked me to say a few words, I told Punna I'll find it very difficult. There are so many regrets, but today is Neil's birthday. If all of you, I think some of the friends, on our birthdays, 12 midnight, the first message we will get was from Neil. And today we are here on his birthday. You have seen from all the slides how talented he was, and you all know. On a Sunday afternoon, on a Bhai-Phota day, so many people have turned up for him. So he's special. I'm just going to tell you about two incidents which actually tells how Neil was. His humor, his quick thinking. So one day, 10:30 evening, I was walking out of Calcutta Club, and Neil was sitting there. Didida, ekhane esho, please come. So he was sitting alone, and some of you will know his favorite food at that time was ice cream with hot chocolate. And he was having that. Well, bosho. He said, দিদিদা আমার খুব মন খারাপ। মন খারাপ কি হয়েছে? This went for 10-15 seconds. না একদম মনটা ভালো লাগছে না। I knew he was up to something. He said, আমার মনটা খারাপ তোমার জন্য। আমার জন্য তোমার মন খারাপ? বলে কালকে একটা কি আছে না? So I must tell you, as Indy was saying, he was a Mohun Bagan supporter. Though he didn't follow Mohun Bagan, he followed Barcelona and Messi. And I am a East Bengal supporter, and we are having a bit of a tough time at the moment. So he said, আমার মনটা খারাপ। বললাম কেন মন খারাপ? বললাম তোমার জন্য। কালকে তো একটা খেলা আছে না, তোমরা এবার 6 গোল খাবে। And he burst into laughter. So that was Neil. He didn't plan this. He saw me and he suddenly thought about this joke. And that's Neil. It's just his mind worked very fast. His humor, his pun, as Raya was saying, he was a pundit. Another small story. We came back to India in 2010, and Neil became a very good friend. And both me and my wife Sujata were very keen on barbecue. And here, at that time, we did not get any sort of bricks which could light the fire quickly. So we were using charcoal. I always like charcoal. So I said to Neil, get a korbo, kintu I'm not sure whether I'll be able to light the fire. It's charcoal and it's difficult. He said, Tumi esho, ami achi. And he came over and we tried to light the fire. We couldn't. We tried really hard. Hath pakha and everything, kagojir por kagoj, it was not lighting up. He said, Didida, hair dryer. I'm hair dryer? What will a hair dryer do? Tumi ano to? So we got a hair dryer out. And he did it. You see, with the hair dryer, with the constant flow of air, we had the barbecue running. So that was Neil again. He was my go-to guy. I think any one of you, if you ask Neil for any help, he'll be always there. We'll miss him. He was always there with us all the time. And so he was always there. We have a lot of regrets. I was probably the last person he WhatsApped. And my wife was probably the last person he mumbled a few words. There are a lot of regrets. Regret that he didn't give us enough time. Regret that when I walk past Calcutta Club, he won't say, come Didida. And regret we lost a very good friend. I'm sorry, Raya. I had to say this. Wherever he is, I'm sure he'll be happy. And he's probably smiling at us and saying, well done, Didida. Keep going. Thank you.
We're going to have another two of some of his favorite songs. And if any of you need something, I'm going to just go around. So just let me know. I'm going to get it to you. Until then, please enjoy two more of some of his favorite songs.
Times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she's standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Broken hearted people living in a world that breathes. There will be always said, let it be.
Yeah, hi. Hi, guys. I'm back. Yes. So, next we have another very special speaker. Though I would like to say his real name, it's another thing Baba would term on his grave. So, Chamu uncle, if you can come and join us. He founded the Natok e Atok group in Highland Park, and Baba was a huge fan. So, if we could have him to share some stories of Baba's Natok life and Highland Park life in general.
A very happy birthday, Neil. আমি বাংলাতেই যাচ্ছি। আমি ক্যালকাটা ক্লাবের মেম্বার হয়েছি 2004, নীল তার আগের মেম্বার। আমার মনে হয় ইট ওয়াজ থ্রু বিনায়ক আই মেট নীল। স্ট্যান্ডার্ড জায়গা আমাদের পিছনের ড্রিঙ্কস কাউন্টারে উইথ হুইস্কি অ্যান্ড সিগারেট। তো তখন নীলকে আমি চেনা শুরু করলাম শম্ভুদার ছেলে হিসেবে, কারণ শম্ভুদা তখন কমিটি মেম্বার। তারপরে জানা গেল যে নীল হচ্ছে হাইল্যান্ড পার্কে আসছে। তো এই হাইল্যান্ড পার্কে এলে একটু গল্প টল্প শুরু হলেই আমি ফার্স্টে জিজ্ঞেস করি, ভাই নাটক টাটক করো? বলো ওই স্কুলে স্কিট করেছি। স্ট্যান্ডার্ড প্রশ্নে স্ট্যান্ডার্ড উত্তর, সবাইকে জিজ্ঞেস করলে বলো স্কুলে একটু করেছি। সো আই থিঙ্ক নীল প্রবাবলি কেম টু হাইল্যান্ড ইন 2009-10, অ্যান্ড 11 সালে আমাদের প্রথম পুজোর নাটকে নীল গট আ সর্ট অফ ক্যামিও। And very obviously the next year he was having one of the main roles, and আমাদের নাটকের গ্রুপটা was like a family of about 16 to 20 people, and then on Neil became the pran purush of our natoker team. It was a social gathering. আমাদের রিহার্সাল অ্যাকচুয়ালি শুরু হচ্ছে রাত্রি 10টার পর, চলতো 1:30, 2টো, 2:30 অবধি, কারণ উই আর অল প্রফেশনালস অ্যান্ড উই স্টার্টেড আওয়ার রিহার্সালস ইউজুয়ালি আফটার এভরিবডি হ্যাড কাম ব্যাক ফ্রম ওয়ার্ক। এছাড়াও হাইল্যান্ড পার্কে নীল ওয়াজ আ ভেরি পপুলার ফিগার, কারণ আমাদের একটা এক্সটেন্ডেড গ্রুপ, তাদের অনেকে এখানে আছেন। We used to do pujo and all the cultural programs during different festivals, and in every part Neil was the pran purush. But দিদিদা যে কথাটা বললো যে শুধু ফান নয়, যে কোনো দরকারে নীল আমাদের পাশে এসে দাঁড়াতো। সেটা আমাদের কারোর পারিবারিক কোনো লস হলো, নীল ওয়াজ দ্য ফার্স্ট পার্সন টু বি দেয়ার। একজন মাসিমা পেছন থেকে বললেন নীল এই কোয়ালিটিটা পেয়েছেন মাসিমার থেকে। মাসিমাকে নমস্কার। আমি সো নীল যেখানেই থাকুক ভালো থাকুক। ওই যে আমরা ডাক্তার হিসেবে we were all there on the last day. We felt very frustrated. Probably a little bit of extra time could have saved him, but ও যেখানেই থাকবে ভালো থাকবে এই প্রার্থনা করি। আর আমরা আমাদের নাটকের গ্রুপ থেকে রাইয়া আর পূর্ণার জন্য আমরা একটা কোলাজ করেছি। সেটা শর্মিষ্ঠা, মৃদুলদা তোমরা এসো। রজত এসো, অনিন্দিতা, টিয়ারি বৌদি হলো।
পিকে চলে
এটা আমরা ওই 2011 থেকে কোভিডের 3 বছর বাদ দিয়ে মোটামুটি যা নাটকই হয়েছে সবেতেই নীল ওয়াজ ওয়ান অফ দ্য মেন পার্ট। সো উই হ্যাভ জাস্ট ট্রাইড টু get that into one frame, and he will always be there with us, and we are celebrating Neil's life. We are not mourning his goodbye. That's what I can say. Thank you. চিরু কোথায়? চিরু। আর আমরা প্রত্যেক বছর আমাদের নাটকে আটক ইজ আ রেজিস্টার্ড দল। আমরা দেবুদা তো আছেন এখানে, দেবুদাও গিয়ে দেখেন আমাদের নাটক। আমরা প্রত্যেক বছর একটা নাট্যমেলার দেশে করি, ওটা আমাদের পেটেন্ট। তো আমাদের অ্যাকচুয়ালি প্ল্যানও হলো অষ্টমীর দিন যে আমরা একটা বড় করে যাব, নীলা একটা বড় রোল করবে, উই আর গোয়িং টু রিভাইভ ওয়ান অফ আওয়ার ওল্ড ড্রামাস। তো উই হ্যাভ আ প্ল্যান দ্যাট আমাদের এই নাট্যমেলার দেশে নামের মধ্যে নীলকে কোনোভাবে একটা ঢোকানোর, যাতে হি লিভস উইথ আস ফর দ্য রেস্ট অফ আওয়ার লাইফস।
Thank you, all of you. I have no other words.
Thanks, guys. And also, thank you so much for this. It's very, very, very sweet of you to make something so beautiful. As soon as we get home, we're going to put it at a very prime spot. So, thank you so much. The next person I want to call is someone who's been working very tirelessly with us to make this evening happen. She wanted to share a story, an article, an essay that Baba had written at some point about Pujo. And I think it's hilarious, and I think there is no better person than Pikai to come and share it. Can we please have you on stage?
So this was written by Neil. Somehow it brings out what, again, Neil was. When our close-knit friends in Highland Park took over to organize the Pujo, they became the Pujo committee. And this essay he wrote after the Pujos, which was then published in the Pujo Souvenir. I'm going to try to put some expression, but obviously it's not going to be Neil. By goddess, the Pujo was funny. The day the first meeting was held and the committee were to be made, I was excited and upbeat. There was so much to look forward to. I could be in charge of the cultural functions or coordinate with other things with the lovely ladies of the Highland Park for the next 3 months. Or maybe internal collection and meet Highlanders who I've never met. Food was not very appetizing, but could be a learning experience, especially with all that olive oil as it turned out at the end. Rituals could be interesting and could make me want to take my poite, the sacred thread, out of my drawer and re-wear it. Thrilling. Yeah, then the committees were made. And yes, I was, of course, given the charge of pandal and decoration. I mean, hello, folks. That's not really very motivating, is it? Bamboos, ropes, workmen and electricians, gate passes, securities. You get the drift. The wise people who entrusted me with this thrilling task must have felt a little sorry for me, and they tried to compensate by making it more interesting for me. I was asked to make it simple yet striking, and for the added fun, in a budget that was substantially lower than the year before. Let the fun begin. The fun didn't begin. Well, the rains did. And whoever had said that when it rains, it pours is a complete genius. Pour it did. It is difficult to construct anything in a pond, and since Pujo is not a water ballet, I made a wonderful new friend. His name was Sumpump or Sumpump. And he has been a rock solid support throughout the pujas. Meanwhile, I got an SMS from the director of the Bengali drama asking me to come for the first script reading of this year's play. Oh, great, I thought. This will be really cool. I bumped into him in the evening while I was chatting with my newly made friend, the Sumpump. It's a murder mystery this time, he said. Wow, I thought. All's not so gloomy after all. I could be an evil murderer, or I could get cruelly, cruelly murdered, or be a great victim, or I could be a police inspector, or a dramatic drug addict. So much range and so much depth. The script reading unfolded in slow motion. I was to play comedian in a murder mystery? Oh, come on. About the same time, it struck us that Durga Puja actually does require a Durga idol. We had a particular style in mind, and it came to me that a friend of mine has a similar style Durga idol at his house every puja. So I called and asked him who makes his idol for him. What he said was a startling revelation. The artisan who makes his idol is a lady. Yes, yes, you heard it correct. One of the rare few in this list of work. Gender equality needs to be seriously corrected here. To top that, her name is, now hold your horses please, China Pal? So we made a trip to China. I mean, not China, as in made a trip to meet her. She turned out to be a wonderfully humble and warm person and a fine artisan. Finalized the details with her and paid her an advance of 1,000 rupees. Unbelievable. And greatness to be her, even after repeated attempts by us to pay her some more in the following month, she refused to take any further money till she delivered the idol to us. Hats off, Didi. May you achieve greater heights and glories. The final idol has been seen by all of you, and I guess you'll agree that she did a damn fine job of it. Highland Park didn't have a made in China idol, but definitely it had a made by China idol this year. This done, it was time to wait for the festivities to begin. Preparations went on, rehearsals went on, the rains went on. My family, friends, relatives, office, and other animals saw less and less of me and other role as the festive days approached. I was sending romantic SMSs to the Pandalwala so that he could work through the rain. I was cooing love ballads to the Lightwala after he was livid when some unidentified assailants ripped off the lights at night. All this was happening and this needed to be communicated. Posters, someone said, is a good idea. Not wanting to give up the chance of being the poster boys, I pitched in, made one, then two, then three, and in the end, there were so many posters, we ran out of space to put them on. But I'm glad they served the purpose of keeping all of you informed. Finally, it was the day to get the goddess from China to Highland Park. We sat out in great earnest with Highland Park Utsav Committee banner proudly displayed in front of the truck. We galloped down the bypass. Kumantuli, here we come, except the truck had other ideas. Smack in the middle of Gauribari Bridge, it stalled and just didn't budge. Zilch, nada. The poor darky on it was so confused as to whether he should keep playing the dark on a stalled truck or not. We rescued him from the truck and relieved the truck of our proud banner. It might be still lying at Gauribari. Haven't checked really lately. I will go into another, I can't read the whole thing, but two other paragraphs. It kept raining and raining and raining. Sorry, I disgraced. The puja began and the atmosphere turned magical. Highlanders embraced the festivities with much love and participation. Program after program was jam-packed and cheered for. The pandal was thronged. Kids ran around all day. The committee types running around all day. The participants running around all day. And some fitness freaks running around all day. The last kind was on the jogging track, not part of the festive running actually. It was then that I had an epiphany. Nothing happened smoothly. And I'm sure there were lots of things we could have done better. But we did try our best. In case, a case in pointing being, I have seen two ladies tripping and falling inside the pandal. Whoever you are, and if you or your family is reading this, I profusely apologize for that. Whatever may be the reason, it is wholly and squarely my fault. I hope both your family and you are now fit and fine. Last paragraph. After the entire wait, almost as soon as it started, the puja was over. A huge trailer came to carry Ma Durga back to her home. Amid lights, music, dancing, and a generous dose of stimulating beverages, we carried Ma to her immersion place. And then, just like that, she was gone. আসছে বছর আবার হবে মা. All of Highland misses you and will wait for you and welcome you back next year with open arms. Thank you.
Someone from the family, Neil's favorite Kaka, he wants to say a few words. Neil always fondly called him Bhai Kaka. Bhai Kaka, Ishu.
Hello. Nilotpal was an আদ্যপান্ত বাঙালি, পুরো বাঙালি ছিল। হ্যাঁ, আমি তোকে ছোট্টবেলায় সরি ডাইয়া সরি ভেরি সরি, আমি ভাবলাম আমি বলতে পারবো না, সরি, আমার ভেরি সরি ভেরি সরি ভেরি সরি।
Yeah. Hang on. No. So, yeah. I'll call Vikram first. I'll just call dear friend of Nilu's, Vikram. Say a few words, please.
নীল ওয়াজ ভেরি মাচ আ বাঙালি। এই ধুতি পরার ট্রেডিশনটা বাপি, নীল টু অল অফ ইউ অ্যান্ড বাপি টু মি। কাকিমা বাপি বলে ডাকতেন আর আমি বাপি বলে ডাকতাম, আর কেউ ডাকতো না। আমাদের তোমরা সবাই ডাকতে থাকে। আমার সম্পর্কটা বাপির সাথে ছোটোবেলায় লঙ্কা দিয়ে। ক্লাস 1-এ ও যখন টিফিন নিয়ে আসতো তখন ওর টিফিন থেকে লুচি আর আলু ছেঁচকি থাকতো টিল টিফিনে। ওই লঙ্কাটা আমি নিয়ে নিতাম, সঙ্গে সঙ্গে শিবুদা থাকতো, শিবুদা নিয়ে আসতো টিফিনটা। তখন সেই লঙ্কাটা এবং আলুর তরকারি খানিকটা আমার জন্য বরাদ্দ থাকতো। সেই তবে থেকে সম্পর্ক। হপ স্টেপ জাম্প মেনি ইয়ার্স। 2004 সালে আমি মালয়েশিয়াতে বসে রয়েছি, হঠাৎ করে একখানা ফোন আমার মোবাইলে, চেনা গলা, বাট আই ডোন্ট নো হু দ্যাট ওয়াজ, অ্যান্ড বাপি কলস আপ, ওরে আমি কেল চলে এসেছি গেন্টিং হাইল্যান্ডসে। আমি তো এক্ষুনি আয়। ও চলে এলো। And then we started our trip for 2 or 3 days. As usual, he missed the flight. So, তারপর রাত্রিবেলা আমরা গেলাম, অনেক করে বেড়ালাম টাড়ালাম, প্রায় সিঙ্গাপুর পৌঁছানোর চেষ্টা করলাম। Thought it was a very bad idea. We came back, we went to Putrajaya, then we came back. Not only that, few years later, আমার ক্যাট ক্লাবে মেম্বারশিপ হচ্ছে। রাইয়া বললো না যে বাবা গিয়ে তুলে আনতো এয়ারপোর্ট থেকে। আমি ওখান থেকে ফোন করলাম বাপিকে, বাপি আজ রাতে কলকাতা পৌঁছবো। কেন হঠাৎ? পুজো তো নয়। বলছি প্লেনটা উঠতে দে। নামলাম, হি ওয়াজ দেয়ার। গ্রিট করলো, গ্রিট করে নিচে এসে আমাকে নিয়ে গেল, খুলে দিল, পেছনে দেখালো কারোবার। সো অল হু নো বাপি অর নীল নো হোয়াট কারোবার ইজ। এবার বলতো ব্যাপারটা কি? হ্যাঁ ক্যালটাবে কালকে ইন্ট্রোডাকশন আছে। তাই। সো এত স্মৃতি আছে আমার ওর সাথে। আমরা শান্তিনিকেতন বেড়াতে গেছিলাম, শান্তিনিকেতন থেকে ফেরার পথে আমি, মা, বোন, সামনে সিটে রাইয়া, পূর্ণা, আমি তিনজন বসে বসে, ইউজ টু বি ভেরি গুড আর অন্তাক্ষরী। ফার্স্ট রো ভার্সেস সেকেন্ড রো, আমরা অন্তাক্ষরী করতে করতে ফিরেছিলাম। আই হ্যাভ too many memories with him. I have too many memories with him. I'm almost every other day. আমার রোজ বাড়ি যাবার সাথী ছিল বাপি। সো ইয়া, অনেক ছিল, অনেক কিছু বলারও আছে। নাটক করা একসাথে, অনেক কতগুলো নাটক একসাথে করেছি, বাট এনিওয়ে তুই চলে গেলি দুম করে এইভাবে, বাট এনিওয়ে কিছু করার নেই। যেখানে থাকবি ভালো থাকবি, তোমরা সবাই ভালো থেকো। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Mosha will just read out one excerpt from Gia Baby. She's my other daughter. Gia Baby is very fond of Neil, and Gia Baby has been Neil's life for a very long time. So Mosha wants to just read something that Gia sent just now. Mosha. From Scotland. She sent it from Scotland because she's online and she's watching it, so she's just sent it.
Gia Baby is basically my sister, as she said, though she's also the daughter of my second parents, and we're all very proud of her for doing amazing things in Scotland. Just wanted to say that before we start.
So Gia is our friend Aditya's daughter, who is studying, and Tanya's. Yes, thank you. And she's studying biological sciences in Edinburgh. And while she was watching this, she wrote this out and sent. Nilotpal Mukherjee, or Oops Anand, that's her name for him, unique name. Oops Anand, as I called him, brought me my first ever dinosaur encyclopedia.
I'll just come in here. Why the name Oops Anand is because to everything Neil would, when Gia would say something, Neil would say oops. So, and she couldn't say uncle. So she made it Anand. So for all the uncles here, it finally became Anand, and Neil's name was Oops Anand for her.
Absolutely. So, Oops Anand bought me my first ever dinosaur encyclopedia. And he was the only person to continue buying me those up till age 17. I would like to believe he's part of the reason I'm on the path that I am, that is to being a paleontologist. He had once told me that Raya had ripped off his mustache as an explanation for when he had shown up in our house in Delhi, clean shaven. He also somehow blamed Raya for his broken nose, saying she had punched him. Although I'm not sure we can debunk that last yet.
No, I would punch him while sleeping. That is not a myth. It has fully happened. Roj erokom erokom kore martam, naak orokomi hoye gechilo.
So as you can see, some fights will never end. He was the first person Raya and I told about my tattoo when we had snuck out behind my parents' back to get it. He was the first to say yes to anything I wanted to do and to join me in any tantrum I threw against my parents. As Raya had mentioned, before an uncle or a family member, he was a friend. Again, a friend who found out most things before others. The first to agree to play Teen Patti with me after everyone had told me to go to bed because I always cheated. And still be surprised when he lost to me. Thank you for all the years of coming to buy Christmas cakes with me, backing me up when I argued to stay up past my bedtime, telling me how much water is okay to drink in a day, and supporting me when I asked to watch Jurassic Park for the 7 millionth time. I'll miss you forever. Love you, Oops Anand.
And with those very special words, I want to call another very, very, very special person who has some really lovely things to say and some very important things and some stories to share. As you can see, she's very excited already. I would like to invite Mom to come and share a few words.
I first of all want to thank all of you because it's been totally overwhelming with the kind of wishes, with the kind of messages that have poured in, with the kind of support that I've got from everyone. So before I start, I would just like to say that it's very difficult for me to make a speech, not because I have stage fright that I have, but because the person who used to write all my speeches is not there for me. He was my Google, he was my chat GPT, he was my helpline, he was the editor. So every speech, every write-up that I did, it was Neil who actually wrote it, or even if I wrote it, he would tweak it. And he would tell me, Dals, English honors ta ke? Tumi? Na ami? So I don't know what kind of a speech I'll make. And another thing he would say, every time I would write something and send it to him, and I would tell him, Dals, ektu dekhe debe? Then he would say, how can someone have such a terrible sense of punctuation after doing English honors? So I don't think I will be going into speeches, but I just want to, like, whatever's come out of today, he was a man full of laughter, friends, fun, and all through my life, I don't remember him taking life too seriously at any point of time. Of course, other than his quiz, his theater, and his lal jhol, he had this undying loyalty towards his lal jhol. From the time I got married till the last day, I think he only had that for dinner now. So I'll just, because there's been so much quiz reference, so one story that comes to my mind is when we had all just joined college, and everyone was wooing everyone at that point of time. So Neil just walks up to me and he says, so I'm doing this quiz at my para. Will you join in? So I completely got a cold feet and I told him, listen, my GK is very dismal. I can't be doing a quiz. So he looked a little disappointed and he vanished off that day. The next day he came back again and he told me, you know what, I have a plan. So I said, okay, so what's it? So he said, what I'll do is I'll leak 2 or 3 answers to you, and you won't be making a complete ass of yourself. So, is that okay? So I was excited. I said, yeah. So, okay, fine. You give me the 2, 3 answers and I'll go. So this was a quiz which he was conducting. And the question apparently was, name the dog of some famous cartoon character. Now I can't remember which one, but in my excitement, I don't think I even heard the question. I had my hand up. So he came charging towards me with a mic and he said, yeah, what's the answer? So I said, Ajinomoto. So Neil was totally flabbergasted and I saw his face going white, and later I realized that was the answer to the next question he had in mind. So basically what happened, the entire series of questions went for a toss and he was fumbling and he didn't know what to do. So that was the end of my quizzing career, and I was banned from any kind of quizzes since then. And there's so many stories all through. I know Bobby was there with me. I think he was my quiz. Yeah. So there's so many stories, and all through my life, like I was the only one who squabbled. I was the only one who argued. I was the only one who fought. Because Neil, being Neil, he would just have a smile, and at the end of it, he would crack such a PJ that I would start laughing, and I couldn't even keep angry for a very long time. So another story, another thing that's come up is he would make up things immediately, impromptu. So we were in Hong Kong, and I didn't have a fair idea of brands, of international brands, etc. And we were walking through a Haagen-Dazs shop. So we just walking, and he suddenly looked at me and he told me, Dals, you know the history, na, Haagen-Dazs? So I said, no. He said, oh my God, you don't know this? I said, no. He said, "Arey, this is Haagen Dash from Calcutta." And I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, he's one of the Bengali entrepreneurs who's like, made it big in this world. And it's Haagen Dash. So it's like Haagen Dash. And you won't believe it, for a long time, I actually believed it was Haagen Dash. So there was this group of friends. We were just sitting and we were like chatting one day, and then something came up, and I thought like, oh my god, I have to share this with all of them, and even he was there. And I suddenly said, this Haagen Dash has made this thing. And then Neil just cracked up and he fell from the sofa laughing, and he said, "I don't believe it, you actually believed me." So that was Neil. And another thing which I don't know, which people haven't mentioned here, is he was very stubborn and he was very rigid in his thoughts. So one rigid thought was that St. Xavier's is the best school in this world. And so I wouldn't even go into the argument, but he was only disappointed that Raya is a girl because she couldn't be put into St. Xavier's.
By the way, though I had no intention to ever pursue anything but law, he made me apply to St. Xavier's so he could tell people that I got in. Just by that.
So there was this Lamartiniere interview which came up, which was the first interview actually, which we were to face for Raya's school admission. And I take everything as a project. So I kind of wrote down the points and I kind of tried to rehearse with him, because one inevitable question which I thought would be, why would you want your daughter to be in Lamartiniere? So I like kind of every time he came home, I used to say, this, we'll say this, I'll say this, you'll take over from there, and this was the thing. And he would nod and he would say, yeah, okay, fine. And we walk into the interview, and the first question Mrs. Peacock asks is, why do you want your child to be in Lamartiniere? And I was like beaming, so I just wanted to smile. I just wanted to come out with it, like this is rehearsed. So I just started with my answer, but he didn't give me a chance, because he immediately told Peacock, that's because Xavier's doesn't take girls. So I was so shocked that, I didn't speak to him for a week after that. I told him, you've jeopardized my daughter's career even before it could take off. If she doesn't get in anywhere, it's because of you. And he was as cool as a cucumber. He was unfazed. So one day when I was at work, he called me and he said, Dals. I said, yeah. He said, second namta, Rayar. I said, Kothai? He said, Lamartiniere. I said, oh my God. And he said, so clearly Peacock loves me. So that was Neil. I couldn't make a speech. I had to, and there are hajar incidents like this, till all the friends know. Like, so there have been one more which comes to my mind is, one day we were sleeping we just shifted to Highland Park, which was on the 24th floor. And I heard a noise somewhere and I got scared. I thought that there's a thief or something. So I tried to wake him up. So I said, Dals, ektu otho. So I think there's someone who's come. There's a thief. So his answer in his sleep was, O jodi 24 তলায় উঠেছে না Dals, he deserves to steal. So I'll leave you with that bit of Neil, because as I said, he was full of fun, laughter, friends, and I am just happy that I actually could be with a human being of his caliber. Thank you. Bhai Kaka would just want to come back again once more.
And as I said, we're only going to do smiles today. আমি পেছন থেকে একটু এখানে থাকবো. Only smiles.
Only smile, রায়া বলে দিয়েছে। ওরা সব আছে আমার সঙ্গে। আসলে নীলোৎপল সেই ছোট্ট থেকে তো আমার সঙ্গে থাকতো। হ্যাঁ, ওদের গল্প বলতে হতো, ও থাকতো, শুভ্র থাকতো, নীলোৎপল থাকতো। আমি ব্যানার্জি ও মুখার্জি, ওকে নানা রকম গল্প বানিয়ে বলতে হতো। তখন জেমস বন্ড খুব ফেমাস, তখন আমাদের হ্যাঁ নতুন এজেন্সি হলো, কি কি এজেন্সি হবে না, ব্যান ম্যাক এজেন্সি। তো সেই ব্যান ম্যাক এজেন্সি নানা রকম গল্প বানিয়ে বানিয়ে বলতে হতো। সেই ব্যান ম্যাক এজেন্সির গাড়ি যাচ্ছে, সে গাড়ির তো চার রাস্তার মোড়ে এসছে, সামনে থেকে এনিমিরা আছে, পেছনে এনিমিরা আছে, আর গাড়ি এবার কি করবে, সাইডে দুটো রাস্তা, তো সেই সাইডে কি করবে, এখন নীলোৎপল আমাকে বলছে এইবার কি করবে তুমি, তখন আমাকে বানাতে বানাতে বলতে হতো ওদের গল্প। গাড়ির তো খালি ফ্রন্ট গিয়ার থাকে, রেয়ার গিয়ার থাকে, আমাকে তখন বানাতে হলো সাইড গিয়ার, যে সাইডের রাস্তাটা এমনভাবে চাকাটা বেঁকে গেল, ওই সাইডের রাস্তা দিয়ে আমি চলে গেলাম। এরকম বানিয়ে বানিয়ে গল্প বলতে হতো। নীলোৎপল তখন থেকে গান টান নিয়ে মানে ভেরি মাচ কালচারাল। সেই সিং নেই তবু নাং তার সিংহ, এই গানটা তখন থেকেও জানে। তারপরে মানে ও তো সিঁথিতে বেড়ে উঠেছে, সিঁথি অঞ্চলে, সিঁথি অঞ্চলের পাড়া ফুটবল, পাড়া ক্রিকেট সবই ও খেলেছে তখনও, পাড়া ব্যাডমিন্টন। মানে নীলোৎপল নেই শুনে এখন সিঁথিরও অনেক লোক খুবই দুঃখিত আর কি, তারা ছোটোবেলায় তাদের দেখেছে। তারপরে মানে কালচারাল কিছু থাকলেই নীলোৎপলকে আগে ডাক পড়তো। মানে আমার মনে আছে আমার কলেজ আরজিকরের কুইজে আমি কোয়েশ্চেন তৈরি করছি, মানে গানের কিছু কুইজ তৈরি করব, আমার মনে আছে নীলোৎপল আমাকে হেল্প করলো অনেক, প্রায় তৈরিই করে দিল গানের কি কি কুইজ আমি করব, নীলোৎপলই তৈরি করে দিল। তারপরে আমার স্মৃতিতে যেগুলো আছে, মানে আমি হারমোনিয়াম বাজাবো, ও আমার কোলে বসে হারমোনিয়ামটা বাজাবে, সেই ছবিও আছে আমার কাছে। তারপরে আমি একটু আধটু গান টান করি আর কি। আমার যখন প্রথম অ্যালবাম বেরোয়, সেই প্রথম অ্যালবামের সেই ক্যাসেট, তখন তো অ্যালবাম বলতে ক্যাসেট ছিল, ক্যাসেট রেকর্ডার, ক্যাসেটের সামনে যে ছবিটা বেরোবে, আমাদের বাচ্চাদের নিয়ে ক্যাসেট ছিল, সেই টিন বাটুল দি গ্রেট এদের ছবি দিয়ে একটা তার যে ফ্রন্টটা হবে, সেটা ও নিজে ইন্টারেস্ট নিয়ে ওটা করেছিল। তারপরে আমার মনে আছে আমার গানের গুরু প্রশান্ত চৌধুরী, এবং আমার সেই সূত্রে প্রশান্ত চৌধুরী একসঙ্গে যার সঙ্গে ছিলেন আমার মহাগুরু বলি আমি, রবীন্দ্র জৈন, তাদের আমরা এই উত্তম মঞ্চে আমরা দুজনে তাদের যারা আমি এখানে শিষ্য আছি পশ্চিমবঙ্গে, তাদেরকে সম্বর্ধনা দিলাম। নীলোৎপল শুনেই, নীলোৎপল কিন্তু মানে আমি তাকে ওকে বলিও নি, কিন্তু আনন্দবাজারের বিজ্ঞাপন একটা পয়সাও আমাদের খরচা করতে হয়নি, ওই সেটাকে করেও নিজেই করে দিল। আমি বলি কত পয়সা লাগবে রে, যে বল, বলে না তো তুমি ভেবো না, আমি ম্যানেজ করে নেবো, বলে ও সমস্তটাই করে দিয়েছিল। আমাদের উত্তম মঞ্চে যে আমরা সম্বর্ধনা দিলাম রবীন্দ্র জৈনকে আর প্রশান্ত চৌধুরীকে, তো বিজ্ঞাপনের ব্যাপারটা আমাকে ভাবতেই হলো না। সুতরাং হি ওয়াজ এ টোটালি কালচারাল ম্যান। নীলোৎপলের ছোটোবেলার কথাটাই আমরা বলতে পারবো। আপনারা যেখানে এখন মানে এখানে যারা আছেন, তারা বেশিরভাগই নীলোৎপলকে বড় হওয়া থেকে দেখেছেন, আমি তো ছোট থেকে দেখছি, বড় হওয়া অবধি দেখেছি। হ্যাঁ, এখানে আছেন, আমি আছি, আমার ভাই, আমাকে ভাই কাকা বলে ডাকতো, ওর জ্যাঠা আছে এখানে, আর কাকা আছে, সবাই আমরা ছোটোবেলা থেকে দেখেছি। তারপর বড় হয়ে আপনারা যেখানে যারা এখানে আছেন, তারা বড় হয়ে যে সমস্ত গল্প আপনারা বলতে পারবেন, আমি ছোটোর গল্প বললাম। নীলোৎপল যেখানেই থাক, ও হাসি খুশিই থাক, আর কি বলবো, শেষ করলাম।
Thank you. I think this room is full of memories. It's full of funny stories of Neil. We'll open the floor up to everybody's memories, recollections of Nilu. But before that, I'll ask our dear friend Sonia. Is she around? Yeah. She's going to sing two of Nilu's favorite songs.
That they used to sing together.
That they used to sing together. All right then.
फरीदा खानम आज जाने की जिद ना करो I never thought singing আমরা কলেজ থেকে একসঙ্গে গান গাই এটা এবং although we knew I mean everyone knows this song এই নিয়ে কত মেমোরিজ আছে আমাদের প্রত্যেকটা জায়গায় এটা গাওয়া there have been times আমি আমার এখনো মনে আছে রাত্রিবেলা কোনো একটা ট্যুর থেকে ফিরছি রাত্রিবেলা just ফিরছি my plane just landed and Nilu called and then said তুই কি করলি জীবনে okay sorry I just landed কাজ করছি হ্যাঁ স্লেভারি করেই তুই চলে গেল মানে just being a slave and then he said listen to this and he played the song Achana Ki Zid so I said okay what's so new Neil what that's because while you're slaving it out Farida Khanum is in Kolkata and you are in Bombay slaving it out you should be here so Neil I'm here and I'm singing this with you three lines hello वक्त की कैद में जिंदगी है मगर वक्त की कैद में जिंदगी है मगर चंद घड़ियां यही है जो आज़ाद है चंद घड़ियां यही है जो आज़ाद है इनको खो कर मेरी जान जाऊं उम्र भर ना तरसते रहो आज जाने की जिद ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो आज जाने की जिद ना करो lots of memories around this thank you Pune has memories around this one. Yes. Okay. This was Neeler corner tunes collection kintu amazing chilo. Every now and then you called him and you found some amazing songs as his caller tune. This was one of them. आओगे जब साजना अंगना फूल खिलेंगे बरसेगा सावन झूम झूम के दो दिल कैसे आओगे जब नैना तेरे पछताते नैनों पे दिल सुनाते जाने ही तेरे नैनों के वादे किए हम सामने सांसों के मथन चले तो से कहे बरसेगा सावन
Another dear friend, Orko, who's flown down from Bangalore, who is with Neil during college, just wants to say a few words. And then we'll leave the floor open for whoever wants to come and share anything they want to about Neil.
Hi, can you hear? Hello, hi. So I'm from Lamartinier actually. So it's astonishing that Neil and I not only got to be friends, but also very good ones. Um, so there's two things that I really learned from Neil, and the first was before he even knew me. That was through Indie, and he had this cassette of the Goon Show. I don't know if any of you know. There was this radio show from in BBC from the 50s, I think, with Spike Milligan, Harry Seacombe, and Peter Sellers. And Neil was the only guy in Calcutta who actually had a cassette of something that was rare, I would think, anywhere in the world. And it was so hilarious. I don't know if there's a like the only way to describe it was lunatic. It was bonkers humor, and it was incredible. It was the funniest thing I'd heard till then, and I heard it through Indie because he got it from Nilu, and that's how I knew of Nilu. But I really got to know him was when after college, I moved to Delhi, and I was studying at this place called the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, and Sonia I met Sonia there. There's Shalini here, who's flown down from Delhi. We all met up in Delhi, and on the first day in class, I gravitated to the back of the class and got myself a chair, and it was public relations, the first class. And I see the guy next to me, he's put up this sticker on the desk which said, "Maine PR kiya." And it was so bad, as pocha, as Indy said, that you just had to love that guy, and that's how I was first introduced to Neelu. I mean, this "Maine pyar kiya," this sickest joke that I heard till then. But anyway, we got to be very, very good friends, thick as thieves during that time. And the second thing he introduced me to was McDowell's number one in Delhi. And there's some context why I bring this up is because in Delhi during that time, and we were obviously on a serious budget, by which I mean no money. The way to buy alcohol in Delhi was you had to fight your way to a small window in a liquor shop and ask for whiskey or rum, and you would get served whatever bottle that guy would give you, and you had to be happy with that. You couldn't choose. Now, the kind of whiskies that you could get during that time was like you could get like a Monty whiskey or a Jaguar whiskey, things that were so suspect that I don't think anybody would actually want to drink it. But Nilu, for some reason, could only want McDowell's number one, and he would insist, and he would get it. And that showed me that he was a man of taste. Not only did he have humor, but he also had an appreciation for the finer things in life, and that's something that's just stayed with me right from the time I've known him. And Neelu, thank you for that. After we came back from Delhi, we were so thick, and then I think I met him only about maybe 10 times in the years since then, because I moved out of Calcutta, and every time I would meet him, I'd become older or I'd changed a little bit, and Neelu had not changed one bit. He was exactly the same from the first day that I met him, and that was just incredible. So, Neelu, stay the way you are, and that's it, really. Thanks, guys.
I know everyone is really angsty to leave. Just bear with us for a few more moments because I think we have some people on Zoom who wanted to say a few words. If any of you guys want to just unmute yourselves and go for it. You can just unmute yourselves and go for it. I request everyone to just bear with us for maybe 5-10 more minutes. Is there anyone on Zoom who'd like to say a few words? No? Are we done? ও চাটে আছে মিটিং ঠিক আছে
Friends on Zoom, আপনারা কেউ কিছু বলতে চাইলে all friends on Zoom please unmute yourself যারা যারা চান বলতে Friends on Zoom আপনারা কেউ যদি কিছু বলতে চান বলুন হ্যাঁ কেউ কি কিছু বলবেন Friends on Zoom আপনারা কেউ যদি কিছু বলতে চান বলতে পারেন এই টিপু তো ছেটে রয়েছে দাঁড়া that's all right but টিপু তো কিছু বলার হলে তুই বল
On this, thank you for making us all feel part of this wonderful ceremony. It was great to. Oh, I just feel that. I wish I was there. He was there more important. Thanks for making this possible for us to participate from so far away.
আর কেউ আছেন সুমেঘ দোলন কাকু মুনি আন্টি তুমি বলতে চাইছিলে
Can you hear me?
হ্যাঁ we can hear you
Okay, I just wanted to thank every one of you. It was such a wonderful celebration. Really missing him so much, but very, very wonderfully organized. All the memories are flooding in, so thank you very much for organizing this. Thank you.
মুনি আন্টি তুমি কিছু বলতে চাইছিলে
Hi Vikram.
Hi, Shoikat. You're there live with everybody.
Yeah, thanks once again, for organizing this so wonderfully and KO missing Nilu. But I think the part of KL where Nilu missed his flight was because he was watching Shona Killa with you and made him sit through it. I think you need to add that part.
বাড়ি ফিরে বাঞ্ছারামের বাগান দেখেছিলাম.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. Okay. Thanks once again.
বাকিরা ধরুন মাত্র বললো.
Okay, let's have there's some refreshments behind you, and I think this is a totally wonderful birthday party, really. And if there's anybody else who wants to have a last word, otherwise, those who aren't here, you can grab a bite wherever you are. The rest of us can have some munchies and remember Nilu.
এটা কার ফোন? টেক ইট আউট।
ম্যাকের
আদিত্য কিছু বলবি? আদিত্য কিছু বলবি? আদিত্য
করতে পারেন। I just realized that all my, for at least a few of us here, the last interactions with the last interaction with was through Zoom. On our side, please go for a long summer. So see, Zoom we used to catch up with each other and interact or দুটো দেখতে দুটো or a type like that would emerge from somewhere and somehow managed to still win the quiz after missing the first half. Funny that we're ending with the Zoom also.
और इसी के साथ as बापी would have said, और इसी के साथ समाचार समाप्त होता है.